Well, hello there. Welcome to this fourth episode of Caregiver Coffee that is sponsored by the Council on Aging St. Tammany, and we are in Louisiana if you are not familiar with St. Tammany Parish. My name is Matt Estrad, and I am a gerontologist in the greater New Orleans area. And this is a Facebook Live that we have every Monday at noon, and we talk about different caregiver issues. If there are questions, I'm happy to answer those. You can just type those in the comment section. I'll be happy to address those live. And if you're watching an archive or a recording of this on the St. Tammany Parish, the Council on Aging St. Tammany, I'm happy to do my best to answer those, and I will as long as I see the notifications on that. And if not, maybe Victoria can point them out if I do happen to miss them. So I encourage you over the next 10 minutes while I'm talking, if you have any questions that you want answered live, please go ahead and answer those. I am the caregiver group facilitator for the Council on Aging, and we meet at least 4 Tuesdays a month. Sometimes if there's 5 Tuesdays, we'll do that, like we're in the month of June, and we will have a caregiver support group tomorrow on June 30th. We are obviously not meeting in person with the activity centers closed due to COVID-19. So just if you have any questions and you want to get on that Zoom call, just send me an email at matt@carepartnermentoring.com. It's listed here at the bottom, as long as the closed captioning is not blurry, over that. And I'll be happy to respond to your email about the support group. So we made about an hour and a half, and we've been meeting since April of 2015, and we have a great little group. Normally we would meet physically in Covington and physically in Slidell, and we just rotate between those two towns. So it being the case that we're completely remote for the time being, we've all been meeting as a group, both locations and any and all locations. So if y'all want to join us, please think about it, and if you have any questions about it, like I said, just send me an email. So today, one of the topics, if not the only topic we'll talk about today, is being proactive in keeping our friends and loved ones close to us. So it's really important. The scientific evidence that we have tells us that it's very important that we keep our loved ones around us, because they form this emotional support network around us. So even if they're not providing physically hands-on care, such as helping someone go to the bathroom, helping someone bathe, fixing something to eat for them, anything like that, it's still just knowing that there's a friend or a family member that they can see, especially, or that they can talk to on the phone, is a huge help. And I thought about this topic. It's been something that we've been talking in this community about for several years. One of the caregivers in the Slidell group called the concept "friends dry up," meaning that when there's a diagnosis of dementia, or it could even be a different other kind of disease, that friends and family sort of scatter and they dry up and they're nowhere to be seen, or they don't come around as much. We're not exactly sure why that happens, but we have some pretty good guesses on why that happens. One of them being that especially when someone has dementia, that family and friends, they want to remember that person as the youthful person who had a good memory, and the person that they always knew. Another reason that we think that this happens is because they're not sure what to say. Like they're thinking, we believe that they're thinking, what do I have to offer, and what am I going to possibly say to this person or to the caregiver, when this is happening. They just anticipate it's going to be like an awkward conversation or an awkward situation, and I guess it could be. But what I would say to that is that you talk to the caregiver before you visit, and say, look, we'd like to come by. This might feel a little awkward, so what are your suggestions? What sort of things should we talk about? What sort of things can we do? And they might be able to give you some thoughts and help you to feel more comfortable about what you're going to talk about in the visit. So, and this is not just for the person who has a condition such as dementia. it's for the care partner, to let them know that, hey, there's somebody that still cares, that we're not abandoning you, that we still want to be there, even if we're just sitting there. And that's the other thing. So you really don't even have to have a conversation with someone who's living with dementia. Just being there, holding their hand, letting them see you, and even answering their questions can be something that really makes a big difference for them and especially for the person who's caring for them. So I always encourage family and friends who are seeing this, if you know somebody who has any of the types of dementia, Alzheimer's dementia, Lewy bodies, vascular dementia, or even a non-dementia condition, and you feel like you step back and you really say, hey, have I stopped coming around? Have I stopped calling? I encourage you, if you find yourself answering yes to that you go to visit them, you reach out to the care partner. At minimum, you reach out via phone or text, and you reach out to that care partner, that caregiver, and say, hey, what can I do? Can I visit? How can we help you emotionally or otherwise in this situation? And if you're on the other side, if you're the caregiver or you're someone who's living with dementia, I encourage you to reach out to family and friends that have not come around lately. And it may take a bit of, accepting that it's happening and some swallowing of pride. And I understand that it can be difficult, and someone might feel like, well, if they don't want to come visit me, why should I reach out to them? Because I'm the person who has this condition, or I'm the person that needs the help. Why should I reach out to them? Well, I can understand someone feeling that way, but still I encourage you to be the person to take that leadership role, to take the high ground and to reach out and try to encourage them to come around and try to give them the tools that they need. Maybe figure out why they're not coming around. If it's the awkwardness, like I said, you might be able to give them some insight into the disease and what's going on, what kind of help you may need, and if they are able to visit, what sort of things can you do. Let's see. The other thing I want to talk about, kind of skipping around on a list. I have a list of 9 crucial tips for caregivers. So if you're interested in this whole list of 9 items, it's a 1-page PDF with short paragraphs underneath, and that's kind of what I've been working with over the last 3 weeks and today. So another one that I'm going to pick out on here is knowing that behaviors are communication. So our loved ones who have dementia, one of the things that could happen, that eventually will happen, is that they lose the ability to communicate effectively. They may not be able to express themselves using the proper words. They might not be able to find the word to really describe what they're trying to say. They may not be able to describe that they're bored, or that they're not feeling engaged or interested or anything, or even that they might be in pain or that they're hungry. So it's up to us to look at the behaviors that they're exhibiting, and it could be repetitive behavior like asking the same question over and over again, or a constant like tapping or other repetitive movements like I'm doing right now, like tapping on a desk or a table, doing things with their hands like moving their fingers like this, or grabbing their clothes or something like that. So such things that might look odd to us could be them communicating something to us. Other examples are screaming, kicking, spitting. Let's see what else. Not wanting to bathe, not wanting to eat. So we need to really be detectives and try to figure out what's going on, and that takes being a detective, as you might expect, means looking for patterns, keeping a journal, and seeing what times of the day these things are happening. What kind of environment are they in? What do you hear? What's the temperature like? So thinking about the 5 different senses, write down, and I think that you'll start to see some clues as to what might be going on. We've talked about bathing, I believe, in the past, and sometimes persons living with dementia, they don't like to take a bath. So they might scream, or they might resist getting into, like, even going towards the bathroom, or disrobing to get into the bathtub. So something I would suggest for that, and we're looking at that wholly as a as behavior, and that's looking at their resistance as a behavior. It's telling me and should tell us that they're uncomfortable with something. Something about bathing is uncomfortable. So let's step back and think about that a little bit. Could it mean that they don't want to take off their clothes in front of you, even if you're related to them or you're married to them, or it would normally be appropriate? What is the temperature like? What kind of sounds are going on? Are they frightened by the sound of the water from the bathtub or the shower? So we're really trying to put ourselves in the place of someone living with dementia and what kind of confusion they possibly could be feeling, what kind of fear that they might be feeling, in order to get to where we might be able to help them. So it's not just, let's complain about this behavior that's happening. I'm trying to do the right thing and give them a bath. It's stepping back and saying, okay, what's possible? What is it possibly that my loved one is experiencing, where I can find that out and then start addressing it? Because these things that we talked about, the running of the water, the temperature, the possibly being cold, not wanting to disrobe, all these things we can normally take steps towards fixing or making or decreasing the impact that it has on them, so that we're able to carry out other things for them. So that's just one quick example. That's the resistance that you might see with bathing. But overall, what I'd like you to take from this is that when there is outward behavior that that may annoy you or that may seem odd to you and others, that I encourage you to step back and try to figure out what might be causing this this type of behavior, because more times than not it's communication, but they're just not able to communicate through words or even writing down or verbalize what is happening to them. So I appreciate y'all checking out this Caregiver Coffee. I know many times it's a heavy topic. It's a topic that's not so happy, but my hope is that these are tips that are going to help you do your job as a caregiver, as a care partner, be the best possible care partner that you could be, and also with that bring hope and peace. So bring hope and peace to a situation that might otherwise be very sad. We're trying to give you the tools here at the Council on Aging in St. Tammany to take care of these. So thank you for watching. I'll see you again next Monday. Feel free to send questions and send possible topics to me at carepartnermentoring.com. That's the email address that's below. You can also submit questions and comments in the comment section of this on Facebook. And I look forward to serving you and the Council on Aging next week. Take care. Bye.